Yeah. Where are you based out of? I got an 805 number. Are you an LA guy?
I went to school at UC Santa Barbara,
Great
and when
area.
cell phones and yeah, great, right? And when cell phones first came out, just north of where you raged in Malibu, about
Yep.
70 miles, 90 miles, 70, 90 miles north of Malibu.
When we first moved to California, we would ride our bikes. It was almost 100 miles. I think it was 100 miles. We'd ride our bikes from where we lived up to Santa Barbara, and we'd go to UC Santa Barbara parties at like Isla Vista, and then we'd ride our bike back down the next day, and we would sleep in the bushes, whatever we could do. But I mean, you guys had the promised land. If I could do it over again, I'd be there, San Diego.
Yeah. I lived in Isla Vista for 10 years, and now I'm in Santa Cruz, which is about another 300 miles north, still on the coast, 250 miles north
I love it.
of Santa Barbara. Yeah, have you been to Santa Cruz?
Bunch of times. I worked with FitAid for 5 years, so I made good friends with the company, and I would come up and visit maybe once or twice a year, and I was always kind of just amazed by the experience of life that you guys had up there. There's too many cool places in California, like it bothers me almost.
They don't sponsor you anymore, Fit Aid?
No, I think they listen. All these companies eventually reach a point where they kind of start to hit a fork in the road, and they maximize their potential on something, and they kind of went into the category of like people that do backflips with soda cans in their hands. I didn't necessarily agree with it, but I love the company regardless of whichever choices they make. And they sponsored a couple of my very close friends in the whole tricking industry, so I'm glad that they at least picked up some really cool athletes to do it.
I wonder if another part of it is kind of like, okay, we've been with, we'll use an example. We've been with Hunter for 5 years. He has, a couple 100,000 followers on Instagram. We've got them all. They're all drinking Fit Aid, or all the ones that we're gonna get. Let's move on to the next guy. Kind of like, yeah, I mean,
It
right?
makes sense. Like
Yeah.
that's why I ended up starting my own businesses during COVID because I just recognized I got dropped from every sponsor that I had except for Pure Spectrum. Like I was lucky enough that they held me through. Um, I got dropped by every single sponsor, and that was my entire income. Like I would say 20 to 25% of my income annually came from races, and the other 75% came from just sponsorship deals or like one-off media opportunities. And I was like, holy shit. Like, I just went from being like a pretty successful athlete down to dead broke overnight. And I started my own training company. I started my own supplement company. I started my own race company because at any point in time, if these people decide to pivot, they could just let go of me. And it's not necessarily my fault or their fault. Whoever decides to really make the decision of the path breaking apart. Um, I just learned quickly that it's a very fragile state to be in as a sponsored athlete.
I am a sucker for like I see Miko Salo wearing wrist wraps, and
Yep.
like my wrists are fine, but if he's wearing them, like I should be wearing them. So I bought wrist wraps. I never wore them. I still have them. And so yesterday, when I was looking around on your Instagram, I saw that you do have a product called Hydro,
Hydro Builder, yeah.
and I was very, very close to buying it because I'm a sucker for that. I'm like, okay, he has a nice body, he exercises, he has a lot of good positive energy. I should be taking what he takes. But then I was just like, I, I didn't see the word creatine in it, and that's really like that's the only reason why like I'm a sucker for Fit Aid because like they have that drink with creatine in it,
I'll
and
just
they
tell you the truth. There's so little creatine in that bottle that you need to drink about 5 cans a day to actually have the response that you need. But I'm not trying to just like say that their product's not great. I'm just trying to let you know from friend to friend, you're gonna need to drink 5 of those cans, and that costs you about $20 to get that intake.
even if there wasn't any in it, just the fact that it has the word on there. That's what I'm telling you. That's how easily I'm influenced. It would be like if a chick told me, didn't matter what she looked like, if she said, "You're handsome, I like her."
Yeah,
Like
100%.
she's hot. She's hot.
I
Like I
tried.
just I don't need a lot. I'm very I'm very easily manipulated.
All right, I'll take that into the conversation. It takes I think like there's marketing information that takes about 15 times for someone seeing something to actually be primed to buy it. So I just need to start targeting you and start DMing you more often. Pictures of me shirtless with a bottle of my drink, and 15th time I gotcha.